Hi everyone, I'm here to show you Verse today. She's an art doll made from wire, epoxy, Fimo, feathers and fake fur. I use quite a thick wire for her. It's galvanized steel, heavy duty, just gardening wire, pretty big. She has a wire skeleton which is wrapped in batting, just plain old quilt batting. You can buy it in haberdasheries. Once you've got it, you can see the grain runs in one direction. You can then rip it apart and peel it into lengths. These then, when you wrap them around something, it sticks to itself quite well like Velcro. The hair is really easy, but her hooves can be quite stiff because the wire I've used is so it's quite stiff when you're doing it in little places. She has metal cannon bones, she has brass cannon bones, that's the cannon there. That's to make posing a bit more realistic. You have to kind of keep your thumb on the bottom of her hoof and push from the top to get it to work properly. Her antlers are made from a mix of resin, epoxy, Sculpey, glue and plastic, which is heat plastic, so you heat it up with a heat gun and you can stretch it into any shape. Hello Rouko. Her antlers are a mix of resin, epoxy, Sculpey and plastic aquarium leaves. They're flexible, and if you drop her then they won't break. They're not like super bendy, but you can wiggle them without fear of them cracking or pulling apart. So that's quite useful. Let's close the wings now to show you how they work. They open and close like real birds' wings. Well, they should do anyway. You need to find the primary feather. Hold your finger against where the wrist part of a bird's wing is, and then pull out the primary feather. Some slight adjustments may be necessary. And there you have one open wing. We'll do the other side. And there you have it. Two fully extended bird's wings. Upwards. Or down. To close them, you hold them against the primary feather, and your thumb you will feel where the bolt is, and then, or just hold the primary feather and just push in so that the wings close. As you can see here, the secondary feathers have been squashed behind. So just push them up. Her fur has also been airbrushed, so it was white, long fur that's been clipped, and then airbrushed purple with brown markings on, so it was quite labour intensive. As an example of the opposite, I have this guy who's very small. He also only has two colours of fur, where his main body is blue and the details are purple. That's quite easy to do. There are no gradients, there are no markings, which means that it's quite fast to produce. He's also very small, and which means that I made him in about a day of full work. That's about 9 or 10 hours. Before he's quite cheap. As the other end of the spectrum, you could commission a doll this big with a ball and socket armature. This is obviously a work in progress, but the ball and socket armature means that it's going to be extremely durable. It probably isn't going to break. The downside is that the range of motion is quite limited, and that is as far as the feet can bend. There is no 90-degree angle with the balls. You have to use 3 or 4 of them to actually achieve that angle. It doesn't limit posability too much, but it's just something to bear in mind. Say that kind of armature wouldn't have worked reverse because she has horse's hooves, which means that they need to be bent back almost on themselves so that she can have the proper pose, sort of pulling horse pose. Moths, which are little cute guys. They're quite fast to make. They have resin hands. They're made of plastic. The heads are also plastic, so you can drop them and throw them across the room, they'll be fine. Their bodies are sewn minky and airbrushed with details sometimes. And they have feather antennae. They don't have an armature. They're just filled with stuffing and steel shot. So they're quite heavy, but also very durable. They are hand sewn. Some of them are. Some of them are machine sewn. But they're an option. I also have fox dragons, which are a bit bigger, a bit more expensive because they take a bit more time to paint. He's been made in minky, and I've got this one, which is reserved, but is an example, and then this multicoloured guy, he's also been reserved, but just an example of the colour schemes that they can come in. I've also done neutral ones. You can visit my Etsy to see if any of these are for sale.